Joined now by Brandin Cooks, and he is on the team right now that nobody views favorably. It is really odd the way it's almost like the Texans. When you say the Texans, it sounds like a curse. I don't know what's happening down there, but we need some answers from a guy who's a pretty damn good player. 7 years already in the NFL, and he's had over 5 1,000-yard seasons, 40 touchdowns. He's a good player. That's Brandin Cooks, and he's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. Brandin, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thanks, guys, for having me, too.
Yeah, man, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, listen, we talk about the Texans a lot. I mean, let's face it, up until this year when things went sideways, consistent playoff team, and Deshaun's a great player. But, Brandin, we've been talking about the Texans for all the wrong reasons. So take us behind the curtain as much as you can. Is it as dysfunctional, if that's the right word, and if it's not, by all means, check me. Is it as dysfunctional to you as it feels right now on the outside to us?
Well, you come in guns blazing asking a question like that. But I respect the courage to do that. But honestly, it's a lot going on. Everyone's going through stuff. Obviously, in the media, it seems like our team is going through a lot more. But, some of those nuances, that's, I can't speak on that. That's not between, me and the team. That's other guys. But at the end of the day, I do got to say we got to get our stuff together and everyone get on the same page and however that looks. That's for them to be able to make that decision. But we shouldn't be the focus in this way, and hopefully this ends sooner than later.
Yeah, I was going to follow up on the coaching. Go ahead.
No, that's exactly where I was going to go. I mean, obviously, things get out of control, and I remember this, Brandon, when I was playing, when Coach Fossil got fired, but not really because he stayed there for the end of the season. Things get out of whack, man. It's hard to focus because guys are starting to worry about their own longevity with the team, and that's what happened with Bill O'Brien down in Houston. And so we know that it was dysfunctional, not because of anything that you all did, but from your perspective, Brandon, as the team pushed towards the offseason and now we're here, does it feel like it's calming internally? Forget what we say on the outside, but are things getting right there, or is it still kind of up in the air?
That's a great question, and I would hope so. Not being in the building, you don't be able to – you're not feeling some of that weight that you will when you're inside. So that alone right there eases it up a little bit. But I'm sure everyone got their own situation going on. And as far as if that calmed down, that's something I really don't know just because I'm not in the building every day like we were during the season.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we can ask you, and certainly, we could put you in the spot, but there's no way to answer it, so I'm not even going to waste my time. Like, you don't know if Deshaun Watson's going to be on the team in a month, so I'm not even going to put you in that. But I will ask you something that I know that you, Brandin Cooks, can absolutely answer as a veteran, as a guy who's respected, as a good player. I told you, I told our audience over 5 1,000-yard receiver. Been a good player, so what you say carries weight. As you sat back and watched the hiring process, Brandin, the team to first fire the coach, which was the Texans, and then the team to last hire a new coach, which is also your team, were you encouraged? Were you dissatisfied? Describe your emotions throughout what was a very up and down and admittedly all over the map hiring process. How did you process that?
Yeah, well, quite frankly, to be able to have a coach on the board on the docket now, I got to say is encouraging from that standpoint because we finally hired somebody. It was kind of a process like we're the first to fire and the last to hire from a player and just from someone outside looking in. That was a little confusing, but now that we have a hire, and a respectable man and the staff that he's building, now I'm encouraged. There's a lot of things that still got to go into that, getting in person and seeing how things operate. But for the time being, I'm encouraged. And that's all I can be right now. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just had to sit back and wait like everybody else.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to talk to the head coach yet, or no? You just haven't had a chance to meet him at all?
I haven't had a chance to meet him at all. Yeah, I'm not even in Houston.
Yeah, no, I imagine that's something that'll happen, I'm sure, later this offseason. And it's really interesting to, think about, what the next season's going to look like after the dysfunction of this previous season. But But let's move towards the Super Bowl and really let's talk about your experiences in the Super Bowl, because I mean, I didn't realize this until I was looking up. I knew we had you coming on, and you were in the Super Bowl. You guys lose to the Eagles when you're with the Patriots, then you get traded to the Rams, then you get back to the Super Bowl and you lose that game to the Patriots. I mean, you've had lots of Super Bowl experiences, and unfortunately they haven't been good. My one Super Bowl experience was the same as yours, by the way, Brandon. I lost to one of the best defenses in football with the Ravens. But when you get to this point in the season, and there's so many storylines that people want to talk about. From your experience, what was the X factor? Because you had good games, and especially with the Rams, not with the Pats. You got knocked out of that game. But what was your experience with the successes or the failures in getting to this stage?
I mean, it's one of those things, like you said, the process is so long. When you're playing now, no one else is playing, everyone at home, so you got to keep your focus. You got to, I feel like, stay off of social media, because you start to see people traveling or at the beach, and you don't want your mind wandering over there, just to be very honest. And I think that's the biggest advice that I could give guys, is staying off of that and just preparing everything you can do, because just all through the season you took and you went through everything to get to this point, just put your all into it and see how it goes. But the negative, the positive, is just staying out the media right now and not worrying about what's going on outside and focusing on internally what's going on.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.